I made a mistake using a private email.
That's for sure.
And if I had to do it,
The House made a partisan political decision to impeach. I would anticipate we will have a largely partisan outcome in the Senate. I'm not impartial about this at all.
We need to go after this guy. He's a different breed of cat, and we need to beat him. And we need to talk
They shouldn't even be allowed to have an impeachment because it was based on dishonesty. It was based on illegality. She went out.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex.
And my name's Eli.
And today we're going to be talking about civic engagement.
Civic engagement is an issue in the United States.
And by that, we're not talking about arguing with your uncle at Thanksgiving.
As our country becomes more divided, many Americans may become apathetic towards government affairs.
And as a matter of fact, a study of PBS shows that 77% of Americans say they are dissatisfied with the current state of American politics.
We feel that the candidates in the 2020 election should focus on preventing voter disinterest and making sure that Americans continue to vote and feel that they have a say in the political process.
But when 8 in 10 Americans do not think that we will become any less divided in the future, it's really hard to discount these valid concerns.
America ranks 26th out of 32 of the world's developed countries in terms of voter turnout, with 55% of the voting age population showing up to the voting booth. While many countries ahead of the US have numbers near 70 and even 80%, this is unacceptable for a country founded on the ideals of democracy.
On top of this, another study found that turnout rates among black voters fell sharply in 2016, despite reaching a record high in 2012. This could show that without Obama being on the ballot, black voters may have less enthusiasm about the prospect of voting. The fact that the US government tends to consist of older white men does not entice these voters as much. Candidates should focus on bringing these people back to the voting booths.
In the presidential election of 2016, the main reason that people didn't come out to vote seemed to be that they didn't like the candidates or the issues. This 24.8% of voters may have felt that the election was too polarized and that they didn't want to choose between the lesser of two evils. The second biggest reason was that voters were disinterested, which comprised of about 15.4% of the voters. This is a disturbing statistic considering how important this process is to our democracy.
In 2018, a midterm year, the biggest reasons cited for not voting by the U.S. Census Bureau was that the voter was too busy or had a conflicting schedule. And this was especially true among people in the age group of 25 to 44, which would be the years that they're working the most. Could making Election Day a national holiday maybe remedy this issue amongst voters? The candidates should keep this in mind in the upcoming election.
Despite low voter turnout in the United States, 74% of citizens said that voting is a very important aspect of being a good citizen.
This is ahead of other actions such as paying taxes and following the law. This seems to contradict the fact that only 55% of the voting age population actually voted.
Okay, so we're going to go out and ask some average voters some questions.
We're going to ask them about the 2016 election, the upcoming election in 2020, and some of the general questions about voter turnout.
Did you vote in the 2016 election?
No.
No? Why
No.
did you not vote?
I have never voted in my life.
Really?
Right. I've never voted in my life.
Is there a reason
I do,
you
yes,
chose not to
I
vote?
do not like the electoral vote.
You don't like the
I
electoral
like
college?
the popular vote.
Really?
Not the electoral vote.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So you think that would be something that if they changed it, you would definitely start
If
going
they
out and
changed
voting?
it to strictly popular vote, that I would go along with.
Do you feel that the state of politics might be too polarized right now to be able to go out and vote, just in general?
I think right now politics is at an all-time low. I don't think either party has anything to offer, and they're out to just win the election and not for the good of the people.
And do you think that if Election Day were a national holiday, do you think that would get people who may not exactly have time for voting to go out and vote?
No.
You don't think they will?
No, they'll just take that day and do something else.
Some politicians have offered some solutions to this lack of voter turnout that we see.
In one specific instance, Oregon automatically registers their citizens to vote. Here's a clip of Governor Kate Brown talking about its benefits.
You have to make it really easy for people, and that's exactly what we did.
So you literally, in Oregon, your data gets transferred from the Department of Motor Vehicles to the Secretary of State's office. You get sent a letter saying you will be automatically registered to vote unless you sign this, of course, stamped, addressed letter and send it back. So that has tremendously increased numbers.
We hope that candidates will not only promote a larger voter turnout, but also encourage people to voice their opinions and be more involved in their communities beyond the ballot box.
We also hope that the candidates will find ways to promote greater voter turnout in new ways, such as making Election Day a national holiday or automatic voter registration.
Hope you enjoyed the video, everyone.
Thanks so much for watching.